Hey everyone, welcome to our weekly Facebook Live video. For those of you joining us, I'm Erica.
I'm Brian.
And we are the Bakers of thebakers.tv. And tonight we're going to talk to you about a few things. But first we wanted to give a shout out to everyone who's helped support us with Brian's blog post on Elephant Journal. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It is about the perspective from a man on sex in real life, and it was amazing, and I'm so proud of them. We have, 85,000 views on it so far, which I'm super pumped for Brian, and I think that's awesome. And there's more to come, not just on that topic, but on many other topics. So on our weekly broadcasts, we tend to talk about a topic or interview somebody, and we want to really bring you resources to help your relationship. So we work with men and women to help create easy communication and deep connection in their relationships. So this could be romantically or in the friendship zone, but we feel like communication is one of those things that we want to focus on a lot because it impacts everything. And so we're actually going to be talking about our second step that we outline in our course, the 6 steps to easy communication, that we have an online course if you want to check out our website at thebakers.tv. And we've already established step 1 was a few weeks ago, if you guys remember.
Which is the cool off period. Mm-hmm. So that is a time where you take a break and just process through things and separate out the things that you would want to just kind of throw out there that are not a good idea. Mm-hmm. So cool off, control your emotions, figure out what's going on, and get to a place where you can have a good, honest conversation and not say things that you're going to regret.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And just a precursor to all this, the reason we have these 6 steps is because we battled through communicating. It was not easy, did not come natural to us. I don't think it really does for a lot of people. And so that's why we ended up working with mentors, with people who helped guided us in our relationship. And once we realized this was the rhythm that we used, we decided to put it down and share it with couples, because we were always having people ask us, like, how do you guys navigate that stuff? Like, you guys are going through a lot. Like, how are you guys doing? And we ended up being okay because we used these communication techniques, and more than okay, we allowed those opportunities to be things that built our relationships up rather than tear them down. So you want to talk about step number 2?
Number 2 is establish some knowns. So this is a time where we remind the other person of the reason that you are in a relationship, that you care about them, that this is a safe place, that you are there for them. Because if they don't remember those things, then nothing else matters. If they don't know that you care, then anything else that's said just isn't going to resonate. So regardless of how correct you are in the fight or whatever, it doesn't matter if they don't know, if they're not reminded that you care about them. Mm-hmm. So you look like you're ready to jump in.
Well, okay, so I was, because I always jump in. I try to hold my tongue, but I can't help myself sometimes. But I think a lot of the times before we started using this communication style, and still even has some trouble if you don't use it, is that when we would come to an issue, I always felt as me versus him. And I don't know if any of you guys out there feel that way when you have a confrontation with anybody, that you feel like it's them versus you. And in reality, especially if you're in a relationship or in a friendship where you know the other person does care about you, if you take a step back, it's hard to remember that during it, right? And so it was something that helped both of us get back on the same page, reminding ourselves, like, it's not that he's against me. That's not the case. But a lot of times it feels that way because we get defensive. And I don't know about you guys, but I get offensive or defensive when somebody is attacking if I'm smart or if what I'm bringing to the table is valuable. I don't know if you've ever had it where you feel like someone is questioning your validity or questioning, I don't know what else, who you are, or your intentions, or if someone's questioning if you care about them, or questioning if you're a hard worker, or questioning if you're lying or not. I feel like any of those things, if you feel like someone's doubting or questioning or accusing you, that you're going to get defensive. And so this is really creating a safe place, is what we like to call it, where when you say, hey, so just kind of role play this with you guys. Like if Brian and I have something, we take a second, take a deep breath, separate ourselves, and then, you know, really soon after, I'll be like, okay, babe, before we talk about this said issue, like, I love you, and we're on the same team, and our goal is to be together, and we've decided beforehand that there's absolutely nothing that can happen between us that is going to prevent us from being together in the future. So I want to navigate this through with you, and I want to be together with you on this, and let's collaborate to figure out how we can figure this out. And I don't think that you're stupid, because I know that that's something for him that is a soft point. So if you know what that person's core needs are, which you can find out, we actually have a quiz you can take if you go to thebakers.tv/core-needs. You can take that, but I know that that's something that he has an issue with. So I make sure to let him know that I don't think he's stupid, even if what he does may appear stupid. It doesn't mean he is stupid, right? I know that he's a smart guy, but sometimes we do stupid things. I'll never tell him that it's stupid because I know that's a sensitivity.
He's not in the moment.
I might be thinking it. No, I don't say it ever. Yeah. So that's how we do step 2 in our house. And I feel like it sounds simple, right? You're like, well, no, duh. But aligning that and allowing the other person to know that you're on the same team does a lot, and has done a lot for our issues. So did you have anything to add to that?
So real life, what this, hello Amber, real life, what this looks like. She mentioned the fact that, that I feel stupid, and I have always struggled with that, especially through high school and college. And just, my mind is like a squirrel in traffic. So it's just like, boo, 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 and I can't focus on things very well, especially when I am not confident. So in certain situations and around certain people, I do kind of become an idiot. So I can take myself back to work relationships and dating relationships where I can replay things that they said that they told me, like, you are an idiot. I don't understand why you can't just remember one place that I worked. I was a server and I was terrible at it because of this. And I remember one of the cooks yelling at me because he had to remake food and being like, I don't understand why you can't just remember this. And I remember people in class like, I don't understand why you don't remember these things. Like, she just said it 5 minutes ago. So in my mind, that's where I go to. If there's a fight or a conflict of any kind, especially if I messed up, I just wait for the shoe to fall, and then they realize I am still that server that messed up everything. I am still the college student that couldn't remember, oh yeah, you have a quiz today.
Who hasn't done that?
Yeah. So yeah, some of it is, yes, those are real life things that everyone struggles with, but for me, it was definitely a huge struggle. So if I go into a fight, that's where my brain is going. And if I don't have that safe place established where she says, I believe in you. I don't think that you're stupid. You have not ruined everything here. Then regardless of what she says, that's where I go. So it's very important for her to say that, to believe it. Yeah, thanks, Jen. I'm sure that a lot of guys can relate to this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very important stuff.
Yeah. And I think for me, it's kind of funny and I don't understand why, but I don't understand why this is, but I also have this stupid thing. I have a few other things too, but the stupid thing is another it. So like if both you and the person you're talking to are having conflict with both feel like the situation is making them either feel stupid or the other person saying that they're stupid or some type of element of that, and both people get defensive, it gets nasty pretty quick. And that's what we had issues with all the time is we both would just get defensive and then shut down. I would shut down and stop talking and run away, sometimes literally. And I would go pout off and want him to chase me. And then Brian would be like, wow, this girl is crazy. I'm not playing that game. And
you did for a little while.
Well, yeah. And then you literally said, I'm not playing this game. And then, but we would both shut down because we both felt like the other person was saying that we were stupid. And I don't know if you guys have had that happen. I'm guessing probably yes, because we have had a lot of couples we've talked to that are like that. But maybe your thing isn't feeling stupid. Maybe your thing is being diminished or saying that you don't have, your opinion doesn't matter, or that you're invisible and no one's paying attention to you, or that you're ugly, or, you know, that you're overweight, or you can't get anything right, or whatever those core woundings are, which we're totally getting to another step in our program. That's why it's important to have a safe place. And I think it's also important to not lie during this time. So if you're telling the other person you don't think they're stupid when you really think that they're stupid, then you kind of need to work through that on your own, and understand, like, is this person really stupid, or are there other things going on? And most likely there are other things going on, because I've yet to meet a stupid person. Maybe they don't apply themselves. Maybe they're having confidence issues like Brian. But I think that it's really important to set that safe place up so that you guys can have that conversation. Before you even get into it, you need to establish the knowns. And if you don't do that, then your conversation isn't going to go as well as until you establish those knowns and realize that you're on the same team. So completely, utterly changed our relationship. Mm-hmm. So if you don't implement this, you'll understand why. Next time you have a conversation or a confrontation or a yelling match or a screaming match or whatever you want to call it, and you're like, why is it going this way? It doesn't seem to do that for Brian and Erica. Well, you know why? You need to take a step back. You need to take a deep breath. You need to not let that deep breath be 3 days, people. And then, we've done that too. And suffer in silence and be like, why isn't he coming to hang out with me and talk to me about this? Well, because I need to pull up my big girl panties. I need to go to him and say, look, I care about you. Let's talk. And then once you talk, you need to establish the knowns. If you are in a relationship and you haven't had the conversation of what could possibly happen that would cause you to walk away from this relationship, whatever commitment level you're at, you need to do that yesterday. That is the biggest game changer for our relationship, because I was always afraid that he would walk away and leave when we were dating. When we went through our premarital counseling, our pastor said, Brian, what is Erica going to do that's going to make you walk away? That's like non-negotiable. If she does this, you're done. No forgiveness needed. And that was huge for us. And at first, it was for Brian that if I left God. So if I decided to leave pursuing him or a relationship with him and stop believing in him, that was where it ended. And we actually had to recently readdress that because it kind of made me feel funny. And so I had accepted it at the time because I was like, heck yeah, this guy's marrying me. Finally. I'm finally willing to commit. Holy cow, 2 years in. It's a long another story, but we had an engagement ring for almost 2 years. A little salty about it, but I'm glad that we waited. Anyways, what was I even saying? Oh, so he made us address that conversation. We had to recently talk about it because if he was going to leave me when God was not important in my life anymore, I was like, but then something's really wrong. Like, if I'm not pursuing God anymore, something happened. Something big happened, and I really need you now. So would you really leave me if that was the case? And he's like, now that you say it that way, no. Because he knows my heart now, and he knows who I am and who I want to be and how everything I want to do is for his glory. So if that happened, that's when he would need to stick around. So now Brian and I have the agreement that there's literally nothing. I don't care if he cheats, if he murders someone, whatever. He could do the worst possible thing imaginable, and I will not leave him because I know that God has called me to minister to him as his wife. And that doesn't mean that if he would ever get abusive, which he's not even having to worry about that, but if he would ever get abusive, yes, there are parameters and boundaries that I need to enforce for the safety of my children and myself, but I would never leave him as his wife, right? Because I am the sole person that is in it with him and has agreed and signed up for that regardless of what happens. And that's my job, to show Jesus's love to him, right? And I don't know if you guys are religious folk, but that's the duty that I took on when I became his wife. And so that's something that, knowing that, makes it all of our arguments and all of our issues way easier to go through, because I'm like, it doesn't matter what happens or what's said during this. Even if we bring out the worst in each other, even if I'm a complete crazy Bia, right? I censored myself for you guys. I am going to still end up on the other side with Brian. So that doesn't give me permission to treat him bad. It gives me peace to know that we're going to make it through and that we're on the same team, because he reminds me of that. And so if you are on the same side, instead of being away from each other and facing each other, if you're on the same side of the argument, then really the whole perspective of everything changes. And I don't know if you guys know this or not. Something I've been figuring out is your circumstances you cannot change. You can only change your perspective, right? And it can change everything. It has changed everything in our lives. Everything. Circumstances might not change, but your perspective changes everything. So you guys put each other on the same side of the table, whether it's friendship or marriage or dating or engagement, same principles apply. Any thoughts?
Nope, that was a good one.
Cool.
All of those thoughts.
Well, anyone who's
trail, rolling. I liked it.
God was moving. I've still got to work on my neck thing. Can someone else teach me how to do this? I need some of my sisters. Sisters.
If we're on the same team and I love you, but you need to stop.
If TJ's on here, hi Jan. If TJ's on here, she's gonna be like, girl, you Becky. Yeah. And she's probably gonna make fun of me for that impersonation. Anyways, so we're gonna open up for Q&A. Does anyone have any questions? This is my favorite part, because I want you to ask us tough questions. I want you to ask us how to apply this to your friend that you know that you would like to ask a question for. You can ask it here now. Hint, hint, you can ask, and then we will put it on here. So if that's in regards to communication or something crazy or silly or something random that you want to know about us, or if you think that we're not being real enough, ask the tough questions and we'll answer them. I say bring it on. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Because we aren't perfect, but we want to share with you guys what we have figured out and share along the journey with you of the things that we are currently figuring out. It's been a long 8 years of a lot of rocky road and a lot of tears and a lot of wondering if we're going to make it through it. And I'm glad we have.
It's been pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have 3 of the coolest kids in the world to show for it.
Yeah. All that makeup sex. Who just said that? I think people who are watching the replay won't even go this far, so it's okay. I think it's like in that safe zone. So I'm waiting for those questions, people. I see 2 of you watching. You better ask a question. But for reals.
You have to write it in the comments, though.
You can't ask it to your screen. We can't hear you.
Our kids do that all the time. Like, they'll be on the phone with grandpa or whatever, and he'll ask them a question, and they'll be like, we can't hear that.
We can't hear that. Babe, you have like this eyebrow thing that's going on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, you guys. That was like the longest thing ever.
I think it was attached to my brain.
Usually they are.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why.
TV.
Just kidding. Just kidding. You guys, I'm just kidding. He's really smart. He really is. I mean, if you didn't see his blog, he's got some humor, I think. 85,000 views. Okay, people. Hey, Andrea. Well, I appreciate the compliment. We are pretty cute together. I'm ugly by myself, but I'm really cute when I'm next to him.
I know what that means.
You bring out the good in me.
It's like that thing where you surround yourself with ugly friends and make yourself look good. Compared to this guy, I look real good.
It's not what I said. But it came out that way.
That's what I heard.
Andrea, do you have a question for us? I would love to answer anything. Like anything in your relationship that's going on, anything that's any questions about Brian's blog, any questions about maybe how to handle certain situations when they come up. I'm not saying that we'll have the answers, but we'll take a stab at it and I'll let you know if we don't have the answers. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I was just thinking? While people are trying to ask us questions. I wonder if I could put this on here. About relationships. Okay, cool. While we're waiting for people to ask questions, I was going to say, like, we haven't done our workout videos in a long time for people.
It's very true.
Yeah. You guys used to get a kick out of those when we used to do those.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Back when we worked out.
It was like a stand-up comedy show the entire time.
Especially the dance ones.
Yeah. Those are hilarious. I'm ready for my ice cream now. Talking about working. Like, man, I really have a hankering for that ice cream.
Hankering is a funny word.
Yeah. I like just sitting here and chilling with you guys too.
Yeah.
If you don't want to ask questions and just watch us. How do you support each other in your careers? That's a good question, Andrea. Can I ask a follow-up question? Are you guys both full-time employment or both full-time employment and doing something on the side? Or like what kind of careers are we talking? Because I feel like it could help modify that a little bit. I'll let you know how we do it, and then maybe we can cater it a little bit more specific to your circumstance. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So there are a lot of different ways to support each other. For us, it is easier and harder because we are kind of pursuing the same thing. So it's easier in that we have very similar passions, and we can encourage each other in that. It's easier to see the passion in them, and it's easier to support them literally in helping them in what they're doing. But it's also more difficult at times because when you're both doing the same thing, there are other things that get neglected, and it means that you're always around each other and have to put up with each other and all that stuff. So, but we enjoy it. So for us, it looks a little bit different. But for the most part,
we had it different though when I was a beach body coach. Mm-hmm. You really had no involvement with that.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, we look at our roles that we have in the house and things that need done, and making sure that, you know, what do I need? What does he need? And then what are the things that we feel like we could do or are good at? And then we basically map it out from there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you're a Christian or if you have a relationship with somebody that you feel like you have the same ultimate goal in life, so I feel like I would definitely recommend you sit down and say, what is our mission in life? Kind of go big picture. Is it to help animals in Africa? Is it to help little babies who don't have families? Like, what is your mission together? And is it 2 missions or is it 1? And if it's 2, how do they intersect? And then how can you explore that intersection? Brian and I just did this the other day and figured out, okay, what is our overall mission? Like, yes, there's all these things we love to do, but what's the overall mission? And then, okay, does everything that we're doing align with that? Because we don't have time to waste. And so what we did was made sure our calendar reflected that and then figured out whose tasks were what to be able to make that stuff happen. So Brian actually picks up a lot of the housework duties, a lot more than most guys do. But he's okay with that because I'm pursuing other things that we've discussed are priority to us. So it's really...
And she's better at the behind the scenes stuff, website development and all that.
Mm-hmm. So I think that helps is if having a unified vision or a vision you agree upon, and then understanding your role in obtaining that vision. Because sometimes it can be frustrating. Like sometimes Brian will get frustrated because he feels like he's not helping out in productive ways when in reality he is, because he is doing the dishes and helping get the kids down. It's just not in a productive way, like physically in the business. And sometimes I'll get frustrated that he's not physically present in some of the business stuff, but I need to remember he's contributing in other ways. So having that conversation of what's the mission for our lives would really, really help. And then I think Andrea got some cleavage going on. Oh crap, I just said that on. Anyways, one time, one full time, yes I am. It makes for better video, I feel. And then one speech body coach / speech body coach, and then one entrepreneur. Wow. Sounds like you guys have a lot going on. But yeah, I would definitely say, unite, have that vision talk, your mission. If you're faith-based, it tends to be a little bit easier, I think. But then again, maybe not, because the way that things are actually done to unite that vision might be an issue. So, but that would be my suggestion.
A lot of it too comes down to knowing your spouse, knowing why they are doing what they're doing. Do I have anything you want to pick out of my teeth or something?
Go ahead, babe.
I'm never doing this diet again.
I'm enjoying
So back on topic. Where was I going with that? Yes, so you need to know your partner. So know the reasons that they are doing what they're doing. Know why they are passionate about it, whether it's I love this is my jam, or it's I hate it, but it's a sweet paycheck, or I just don't know what else to do. Whatever the reason that they're doing it, know what it is so that you can support them in that. So if they are really into helping children and they come home every day and you're like, man, that is a sweet paycheck. Thank you so much for that paycheck. It's not going to mean nearly as much as I love your passion for these kids, or I love your passion for whatever you're doing. Thank you for having that. And recognizing, meeting them where they are and addressing that. So also know what their struggles are, the parts of their job that they hate, or the ways that people make them feel less, or the parts of their job that are just super difficult. Know the ways that they struggle, know the ways that it make them feel. And then when they come home and they feel exhausted or meaningless, or they haven't been able to control anything all day, make home a place where they can be safe and not have to worry about those things, and not have to worry about what they have done wrong, or be overwhelmed by things at home when they've been overwhelmed all day. Make home a safe place where they can get away and not feel like I've just worked 12 hours and now I come home to the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's hard. That's not an easy task.
Mm-hmm.
That is not an easy task at all. especially if the other person's staying home, because I know that it's a really hard to get the place to be a safe place when the working person comes home. Even though you've been home all day, you've worked your tail off. Trust me, I've been there. I was a stay-at-home mom for 2 years. So to answer your question, tomorrow we are actually doing Q&A. So you can ask any questions. Anyone who's listening, you can ask a question. Andrea had a great question about how to support each other in your careers, because that's crucial. Because if you're not on the same page, and that it can cause a huge rift between you two. And again, this doesn't necessarily have to be about couples. It can be about being single, and if you're trying to find somebody or anything like that, because Lord knows I've tried my buttons off. I don't even know if that's a phrase, but I tried them off and they're still on. So I didn't work them on. Brian's going to shoot me. He's like, you're never doing a live video again when you're goofy. But I think, I don't know if you guys enjoyed that better or not. Not unless
you don't even have a glass of wine tonight.
No, I don't. No wine tonight, guys. So that's what we're discussing. Q&A, ask your questions about relationships or communication or what to do in a particular situation or how to go to God together or listening to him in regards to your finances. That's been a huge one for us. So any of those questions, I don't know if we've gotten that one completely. I'm glad you know everything then. That's why I married you.
I don't know everything. That's just an easy one.
You.
Love God, love others, make disciples.
Oh, yes. You're right. So that's what we are talking about. There's something else I was going with that. So ask your questions, people. Tamara, do you have one? We have a few people in here still. So any other questions? Tamara said, well, I just moved across the country to get put to get out of an unhealthy 3-year relationship. So relationship is off the radar. Yep. Well, sometimes being single is just where you need to be at.
Yeah.
Which is what I discovered I needed to be at right before I met Brian. Yeah. So I had plenty of unhealthy relationships.
It's a good place to be sometimes.
Yeah.
We actually had a church sermon about that a couple weeks ago, about the way that singleness should be highly regarded, and it's a great thing, a powerful thing, and it's not something that we need to fix. Be like, I got somebody for you.
Yeah,
let me fix your situation.
Yeah, that there's something wrong with you, because that's totally not the case.
Yeah, and especially it sounds like the relationship you were in was not a good one. So, singleness is a good place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in quite a few not very good relationships, so it's just made me appreciate Brian even more. So God can use it for good. So if you're just joining us, we are doing Q&A. If you have any questions for us, this is my favorite part because I feel like it gives us the ability to interact with you guys a little bit more. And that's my favorite. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, that's a good idea tomorrow, to focus on being the best mom you can be. That's awesome. So, well, I think we're going to wrap it up tonight. I just like to hang out with everybody, so I don't want to say goodbye. But we will, because it's bedtime, and I got to get my ice cream on. Love you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight.
See ya.
See ya.